Our goal in teaching math fact automaticity is to get students to make a switch from using counting strategies to using direct recall. However, our human brains usually don't make this switch on their own. Researchers have found that in order to get a student's brain to change from counting strategies to direct recall, the student has to run out of time to use counting strategies. Specifically, they need a controlled response time. A student who can't think of the answer within the controlled response time should be given the answer and asked to repeat it. The amount of time is specific to the student and needs to be adapted over time until the student can answer within 1 second. Note that this strategy is different when we teach conceptual understanding. When we teach conceptual understanding, we want a student to have time to think about the relationships of numbers to each other. But when we teach automaticity, we have a specific goal: to move a math fact into long-term memory so that it can be accessed for direct recall. The controlled response time is how we convince the human brain that this information is important enough to store long-term. However, if we pressure students so much that they give a wrong answer, then the wrong answer will compete with the right answer in memory. So we need to present practice problems to students at a pace that allows them to give a near errorless performance. This means adapting their controlled response time carefully in response to the student's performance. Because our brains need the motivation of controlled response time to switch strategies, methods of practicing math facts without controlled response time are not effective. This includes daily math sheets. Even if the math sheet overall is timed, individual math facts on the sheet don't have a controlled response time. So, practicing math facts this way may help the students get a little faster with their computation strategies, but it usually won't cause their brain to switch to direct recall. In addition, the time pressure not adapted to the student's ability can cause discouragement and frustration, eventually leading to math anxiety. Similarly, computer-based drill and practice is ineffective without controlled response time. Unfortunately, controlled response time can be discouraging. A student who feels they know the answer because they can calculate it using counting strategies is frustrated when they run out of time. As we work on developing fact fluency with our students, we need to do what we can to counter the sense of frustration. Adapting the pace to allow a near errorless performance is one way of reducing the amount of frustration that students feel. On a final note, because controlled response time needs to be adapted for the student as they practice, it is essential that each student is allowed to practice individually so that the response time they are given is appropriate for them.